Diss songs that prove Game is a savage at rap beefs. Welcome to Read Know. Today we're listing 5 diss songs from West Coast rapper, Game, that prove you don't wanna mess with him. When it comes to rap beefs, the reputation of most rappers in hip-hop today is that of taking L's. Game is definitely not one of them. The West Coast last man standing and former G-Unit rapper is not one to mess with. Whether attacking or clapping back at a fellow rapper, Game is at his lyrical best when dissing other rappers. He leverages his weakness with making catchy hooks to assault his enemies with never-ending bars of rage and disrespect. He has fearlessly taken on some of the biggest names in the game: 50 Cent, Meek Mill, 6ix9ine, Chris Brown, Joe Budden, Lil Eazy-E, 40 Glock, Jay-Z and G-Unit. You would think he'd be crushed by now. Far from it. Game has thick skin at taking attacks from other rappers. However, messing with him is definitely something any normal-thinking rapper will dread. Here are 5 diss songs that marked Game as a savage at rap beefs and have made other rappers not mess with him. If it's your first time here, welcome. Please subscribe to our channel and give a thumbs up to this video. Number 1. 100 Bars, The Funeral, a 50 Cent and Lloyd Banks diss. This is just one of several diss tracks Game released targeting 50 Cent and members of G-Unit. Like many beefs, accounts of the fallout between Game and 50 Cent has different causes. 1. That Game wouldn't give credit to 50 Cent for his role in the making of his debut album The Documentary. Rather, tried to sabotage the promo of 50 Cent's album The Massacre, which release was pushed back to accommodate the release of Game's album. 2. That 50 Cent required all members of G-Unit to beef with his enemies and Game wouldn't cross the line with Fat Joe, Jadakiss, and Nas. Whichever you believe, in 2006, Game went off the Hands Up beat from Lloyd Banks featuring 50 Cent to diss both artists as part of the promo for his album Doctor's Advocate. He went in hard on Lloyd Banks, transforming the New York rapper into his punching bag as he used almost all 100 bars targeting him. He relentlessly insinuated that Lloyd Banks was in fact gay and nothing else but 50 Cent's errand boy. As he equally had words for 50 Cent's, going back on the words of Jay-Z's famous 50 Cent diss line from the track, "It's hot."
Here to break down, time to separate the men from the boys. Take it straight to the bank, call it Christopher Lloyd. Call him mama's little boy, or 50's little bitch. The rotten apple or the protege of a snitch. The protege of a bitch. Nigga softer than a Tybo kick. You Billy Blanks on and porno flicks. With no porno chicks, only porno dicks.
Number 2. 92 Bars, a Meek Mill diss. One of the hardest and catchiest songs to ever come from Game turns out to be the Meek Mill diss track, 92 Bars. The beef between Meek Mill and Game started over a confusion between both rappers and Sean Kingston, in the aftermath of a robbery incident in which Sean Kingston's jewelry was stolen. It is alleged that Meek Mill may have suggested to Sean Kingston, Game's involvement in the robbery incident, a situation Game didn't take lying down. This situation has since generated several diss tracks from both rappers, one of which is 92 Bars by Game. In this 6-minute non-stop cocktail of infectious Dre-style instrumentals and never-ending bars, Game takes multiple shots at Meek Mill, clowning and belittling him. He also referenced Meek Mill beef with Drake, referring to Meek as a snitch for his ghostwriter allegations. Even though only few direct references are made to the Philadelphia rapper compared to the whole content of the track, the savagery of the track cannot be ignored. What makes the record so special is that few rappers are capable of relying only on bars with no hooks to deliver a 6-minute long track, much less a diss track.
She got a couple mil, and she don't even know me. And ever since that nigga snitched on me, we just don't speak. See that shit you got with Drake is like a slow leak. Blood'll be dripping like Niagara if I poke me. Nicki won't get no sleep. I'm coming through at 4 a.m., 4 deep to leave a dead body on a soaked sheet. It can happen low key. You better have Ross call me or you gon' be eye level with a roach feet.
Number 3. My Bitch, a 50 Cent, Jay-Z and Suge Knight diss. Aside from being a formidable diss rapper, Game can also be a corny attention-seeking provocator. He proved that in his freestyle, My Bitch, which, though corny, turned out to be one of his best diss tracks. Using the classic 3 birds 1 stone approach, Game apportioned a verse each to 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and Suge Knight, treating each one as a woman who uses her sexual wiles to finesse her way into elite circles. It makes sense for Game to have dissed 50 Cent in the record as both artists were at the peak of their feud. However, it is unclear why he targeted Jay-Z and Suge Knight as both didn't provoke him in any apparent way. It didn't even matter to Game that Suge Knight was an OG member of the Bloods, Game's gang. He would later claim that he was drunk when he did the freestyle and wished he never dissed Suge Knight. However, he wished Jay-Z responded to his provocation. In a 2012 interview with Vibe, Game said, "I was probably one of the only cats that went at Jay-Z's neck and still had a career after." Jay never responded. "I think he knows I'm reckless and there's nothing I can't say." He also sent a strong message to all other rappers with this freestyle. Something like, "If I could attack and go in hard like this for no apparent reason, imagine what I would do if you really stepped on my toe. So back off." Probably the best way to bully off attention-seeking rappers from trying to start any pointless feuds with him.
Moved out the hood, changed the name to Jay. Told everybody she be working with a mill one day. I was introduced to her back in '96. She had a wavy haircut and some big ass lips. At first she was hard to hit. Come to find out the last 10 years she been sucking big dick.
Number 4. Pest Control. A Meek Mill diss. The Game's verbal attacks against Meek Mill did not end with the 92 bars diss track. Game came back with a new diss track meant to be a headshot to Meek Mill. In response to Meek Mill remix of Young M.A. Zoo in which Meek Mill took shots at Game went in even harder at the Philadelphia rapper on the new diss record Pest Control, equally a flip on the Young M.A. hit, Ooh. As usual, he held nothing back as he destroyed Meek Mill bar after bar. The Compton rapper continued to paint Meek Mill as a rodent he's dubbed Mickey Mouse. Apart from the track being another of Game's lyrical masterpieces, Game also used the track to make fun of Meek Mill. He refers to his rap as shouting and calls him as a disgrace to his city Philadelphia.
You jump Quinn Miller and now you don't scrap. It was time to go at Drizzy and now you don't rap. Ask your bitch, you know I bees in the trap. You gotta move out of LA, I'll put them bees on your back. And Barbie keep a thumb in your butt. That Ken doll love getting fucked. Hide behind your niggas, you ain't got the guts. Riding dirt bikes with your ass on some nuts.
Number 5. Gayo. A Tony Yayo diss. Gayo is not even a full diss track. It's just an interlude on Game's G-Unit diss mixtape, Stop Snitchin', Stop Lyin'. The recording makes this list just for how funny it was at making fun of the G-Unit rapper, Tony Yayo. The beef with Tony Yayo stems off from Game's beef with 50 Cent. After 50 Cent and Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo was Game's favorite punching bag throughout all the 50 Cent and G-Unit diss tracks. However, most of them were through well-crafted hard lyrics. This recording proved that, in typical 50 Cent style of comically clowning rappers as a form of diss, Game was also capable of being disrespectful by being funny at the same time.
I like to move it, I like to move it, I like to move it,
Subject of a pussy pulling.
I like to move it.
I was in MDC with that nigga Marvin Bernard, aka Tony Yayo. The nigga's a bitch, he pussy. He starting like he a gangster, he ain't no gangster. That nigga ass. Nah, I mean, game shooters was popping, nigga from the West Coast, and he represent.
I ain't even know Yayo name.
That nigga named Marvin Bernard.
Marvin Bernard. Marvin Bernard who wouldn't come out on the yard, nigga.
Word up. Hey, yo.
These are just a few mentions from Game's incredible repertoire of diss tracks against other rappers, especially G-Unit, that make Game one of the scariest rappers to start a beef with. Even now that Game faces declining influence in the industry, any rational rapper would or should think twice before coming at it. Thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Do you agree with the list? Which other records should feature here? Please subscribe to our channel and check out these other cool videos we know you would love.